All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of For the Most Part podcast. And as you can see, we have a very special guest here with us today, Mr. Emmanuel Joseph. The man sent me a whole, when he has got a bio, it is normally be like a paragraph for some people. It's a page with this gentleman. I see in ABRSM graded theory. It went to UEDCFA, by the way, same alma mater here. Los alumnos de San Juan. That's a big parang side too. Anyway, so I will let him introduce himself, tell us a little bit about himself, and then we're going to be actually following up on the last episode that we had, which is we were kind of talking about more pan and the current panorama season and just, the general things that have been going on recently. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and, what got you into pan.
Definitely. So first of all, thank you for having me, Kemi.
You're most welcome.
Happy to be here. Hi everyone. My name is Emmanuel Joseph. I'm a Steelpan soloist performer and panist. I started playing Steelpan at the tender age of 9 in my primary school, Malabar RSC in Arima. I just got involved with Steelpan through the band, through the school's extracurricular activities, and from leaving primary school I went to Holy Cross College where I continued to play for the school. I joined the Steel Orchestra as well in Arima also, and there I really got to develop my skill, my technique, and be able to play challenging music because it's a medium band. From Holy Cross College I went to St. Mary's College for Form 6, and there I continued to play as well, played for the school as well there. And in 2015, before I left Holy Cross, I joined the BP Renegades Youth Steel Orchestra for Panorama, and I continued on with the band. So for a good while, it was Melodians and BP Renegades Youth.
Right.
And then in 2020, I transitioned fully into BP Renegades Senior Steel Orchestra, and I said, not really a farewell, but a thank you to Melodians Steel Orchestra. I still support them, but I don't play with them anymore. But I'm full on BP Renegades right now.
Right.
I perform as a soloist, as an entertainer, as an artist, almost an artist, as a steel panist. I have performed in many different species and gigs. I perform in many different types of gigs, corporate events, personal events, functions, parties, etc., etc. And I'm also an arranger. I arranged in 2020 for Holy Cross College Steel Orchestra in the Junior Panorama, as well as this year, 2023, with Holy Cross again. In 2020, we placed 6th, and better this year, 2023, we placed 4th with my arrangement of Sherwin Winchester's Dead or Alive. So the Pan world has been really good to me so far, and I'm always excited to be a part of the Steel Pan fraternity. And there's not just one side of Steelpan I'm involved in. I'm involved in the theory side as well, sight reading. I'm a part of UE Arts Steel Assam at the University of St. Augustine, West Indies.
Nice.
Department of Creative and Festival Arts. So UE Arts Steel, BP Renegades, and as well I've performed in many different types of bands, performing bands, steam music, made a lot of appearances in church as well, definitely. As well as I'm a part of the Los Alumnos de San Juan Parang group during the Parang season as well. So I'm a foot in a lot of different spaces, but Steelpan is the main constant.
Nice. So I think this is such an interesting position to be in, right? And I'm talking about right now because we both know we're playing with two different large bands right now. I'm at Silver Stars and you with BP Renegades. But I think this is such a nice conversation to have because I want to know. And one of the things that I was asking, I don't know if you know Miss Louise Clark, she's another co-host on this show. We were trying to discuss general ideas that we're going through for the panorama season. One of the things is one of the things that has surprised you, one of the things that has not surprised you. If we could start with that, and then from there we'll kind of develop. And as people know, the semifinals happen, but today is Monday, so we're recording this on a Monday. The semifinals was last night, and people are there's some buzz. So talk to us, tell us what are some of the things that has not surprised you, what are some of the things that has surprised you, And then we could talk about. I don't want to get in too much into the judges part, but trying to understand how they interpret the music and get everybody settled, because I know people talking right now. People are
Sure.
talking.
Okay. All right. So what has surprised me, I think, the organizational level that the competitions are at this year is a lot higher than what we are accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe some change has happened in the organizers of the panorama events. Things are going a lot smoother, a lot faster, a lot more mainstream, and I think that's looking up. That's a very good thing so far. So that has kept me a bit surprised, especially for the junior panorama as well. Things moved really quickly because it's a lot was going on junior panorama day. We had primary schools, secondary schools, and under 21 bands, and they finished relatively early. So that was really good. We saw it last night as well, yesterday, with the medium and large semi-finals. Medium bands flowed really well, large bands flowed really well, and the last band played, I think we finished before 1:45,
which was
historical.
Historical panorama. Men still on the track all 2 o'clock in the morning waiting. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's one good thing. What that has surprised me as well. What I'm not surprised by is the level of music. I think the level of music that bands are coming with is definitely very competitive this year in all categories. Even from since back the single panorama, I think the level of music that our Rangers are coming with is very, very high this year.
Yeah.
So that has really kind of it hasn't surprised me, because I know that they are working throughout the entire year, and we had a lot of time during COVID as well. So their level of music is very high, and it hasn't surprised me, but it's something to look at as well, definitely.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that was one of the things that Louise and we made a comment about, which is, everybody stepped up the game, and I think it has something more to do with the fact that COVID really kind of hit us for 6, and we had no panorama for 2 years. So everybody was like, "Yo, freedom, let us go, let us dive right in, put all." Everybody mashing gas and going. So that was it. It's insane. And the number of supporters. And this is wild to me, right?
Wow.
People. Yeah. Let me give you all some perspective. Normally, finals night does be ram out, right? People showed up for semis. We had to be moving people out of the way to get racks onto the drag. That is not a thing that normally happens. We can move racks kind of smoothly for semifinals. People were blocking bands. They really couldn't pass. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit now. Okay, so I don't want to go, as I said, I don't want to go into the score sheets and that sort of thing, but let's talk about how we may want to interpret maybe judges' comments. And this is on a general scale for everybody, as well as how we think the judges may be interpreting music, because there's one side of the interpretation, which is the arrangers saying, well, this is what I think the song is supposed to be like, and then the judges are literally saying, well, I didn't think this is what it was, maybe I like what your interpretation was. What are your thoughts?
Okay, I think competition is competition. First of all, there must be a performer, and there must be an adjudicator, and there must be a result. First of all, no matter what that result is final.
Yeah.
And on the same hand, music is always subjective and interpretive. It's very hard to be in a judge's position at any stage, in any competition, in any forte, in any genre of music, in any talent. It's always difficult.
Yeah.
But I think the rubric that has existed for a long time allows the bands to really try and fit a mold that the judges are looking for most times. So I think when a judge gives their comments, it can be subjective. So what one judge might say, they love the entire arrangement from start to finish. And then another judge might come from a different musical background and say, wow, I think the orchestration and the voicing was a little bit off. Maybe the lower range pans could have been heard more or something like that. So it's very subjective. I always try to put myself in the position of a judge if I were listening to a band, to critique them, what I would listen for. And it's very difficult. I don't envy judges at all. But I think over the years, the judging has gotten better and better, piece by piece, step by step. So I'm hoping that the judges' comments this year can always improve the music. There's a trend that I have seen in recent years is that I don't think they are going for complex arrangements much anymore.
Okay.
That's just a general comment. I think the last couple winners, let's say from 2016 onwards, it was very clear music. The music wasn't very crowded.
Right.
A lot of music was spaced. So even if you go back to 2016 with Despa's different Me from 5-Star Kill Alexander range, the music had a lot of space to breathe. It was flowing, it was smooth, it was enjoyable. Go up to 2017 with All Stars Full Extreme. It was a party song, and they did it in a party way. 2018 BP Renegades Year for Love. The music, we can listen to it. It had some complex passages, but generally the music was
listenable. It was listenable.
Listenable, definitely. And the same for 2019's BP Renegades Hooking Me, as well as Despa's 2020 More Soca.
Right.
It was enjoyable music. It was enjoyable music that the average person on the street who has no musical background could always follow the song and say, yes, this is the song that I'm listening to. And I think the judges have been agreeing with that for some time now. But I think it does not bring down the level of music that Panorama has. The music is still difficult. The music is still has to be well rehearsed and well practiced and everything.
Yeah.
But I think in recent trends, the judges have been, I think, going towards that more enjoyable, listenable. I don't want to say easy or basic, but definitely straightforward. Straightforward music that gets you, that knows, all right, this is the line that I'm using in the motif. This is the chorus line that I'm using.
Yeah.
So I think the judges over the years have continued to grow in their adjudication.
Right.
I can't speak on one individual judge. I can't say this person does this person does that. But I think generally in most competitions, medium, small, large, conventional categories, junior panorama, single panorama as well, we're seeing that the judges appreciate clear-cut, straightforward arrangements that speak for everyone. Musicologists, arrangers, drill masters, people in Pan may not appreciate simple arrangements, quote-unquote simple arrangements, but it definitely has merit that when a band plays a song that anybody can listen to and anybody can follow, it definitely makes for a better showing at Panorama. But judges on the whole I think they have been improving on the way that they communicate their messages within the sports suits and everything. And I think it's just an upward trend going from here, definitely.
I mean, and that's a true comment. And one of the things that I was going to ask is, and this was something that we briefly touched on in the last episode, and we may jump back to it at a later point because it's a somewhat touchy subject, which is, are the judges prepared in the sense to adjudicate for such long periods of time? And this includes not just the music side, right? Because we know, coming out from the UE, that we have certain qualifications. We understand things like orchestration, voicing, harmony, the inversions, and we could go on and on and on and have those conversations about, well, we like how this band voiced this thing, and you can compare arrangements, and we could say we like this one, we like this one, and so we go. But do the judges have that kind of, that's something I want to know. I want to find out, are the judges also equipped and trained to sit for long hours? I know he's got breaks at some point. You know, but are they trained? Do we know if there's some kind of practice that they go throughout the year? What do you think?
I think, first of all, judges are human. They too will get irritated sitting down in the same position on end for hours and hours. They are human. They may have, to err is human, definitely, and they may have times where they maybe lose focus. They may get distracted by some of the presentation that's going on. I may not hear a part. But I think it is on the onus of the organizers of Panorama to know that whoever they are appointing to be an adjudicator, to make sure that they are qualified.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's on the judges' part, because I can't go into judges' musical background. I'm not privy to that information. I can't say that this person is qualified, etc., etc. But I think it's onus on the organizers of Panorama to make sure that whoever they are putting this responsibility on, they are qualified to do so. I guess that's as much as I can say, because the selection process for judges I'm out of. I don't know what is the criteria that they have to meet or how many years experience they have to have. I'm really not sure, but I guess we just have to trust that the people that organize Panorama are putting their best foot forward in selecting the most
appropriate,
suitable people, that can listen and critique Panorama arrangements to the best of their ability. Who is on that panel of selectionists who appoint judges? I'm not sure, but I think we just can't always blame the judges, because they are human as well as the people who select the judges. They are human as well, and sometimes things can happen. But I think it's just on the onus of each individual person to do their part to the best of their ability. So a judge has to say, all right, a band is going to start. Let me pay attention. Let me sit up. Let me, look and listen.
Be fully involved.
But then again, as I said, we are all human. Sometimes players get distracted while playing. They make mistakes. Sometimes arrangers might code the song too fast. Sometimes the drummer might make a mistake. And of course, on the end of the judge's side, it can happen as well, because one example is for junior panorama in the primary school's category, there was a mix-up with score sheets. Now, it happens sometimes. It happens different times. But that, like, again, we are human. We are all human in this thing. So sometimes mistakes happen. But I think it's just once everybody tries to play their role to a T and attentively, I think the best results can come out. So for judges, I can't go into their musical background. I don't have that information for each category, but I think just once we try our best, the best can come out.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I agree there. Now, I do have one last comment. Now,
sure.
Let's talk a little bit about semis, because I think a lot of people, as the buzz and as the hype right at this current minute, as you see about 100 statuses, who do this, who do that, who ain't like this, and whatever, and do we think, and I don't want to say if the semi-final results really say where people are at, but what do you think we could expect running into finals? Because I know, I would say hands down, I know every band coming out full 100 for the final. They're coming out. They are coming out. What do you think? What do you think, and what do you feel? Are you excited? What are you looking forward to the most coming out of finals?
Sure. So first of all, my eyes are on the medium category. I think the medium category is very competitive this year.
Yep.
A lot of arrangers are doing their best. Palmberry with Mr. Angie White, Stephon West with Cooper Joylanders, the defending champions, and who has been in the first place position for prelims and semis, Cats and Jammers, Mr. Kirsch Ramsey.
Yeah.
Those are just some of the names. I can't name everyone, but the medium category, which takes place, I think, is it this coming Sunday?
We can check
I think
it.
it's 11th or 12th, yeah. That is going to be, first of all, one competition to look forward to, because the level of it's very sticky, as we've been saying this year. It's sticky. The arrangers and the bands are coming out full 100. I haven't had a chance to listen to all of the medium bands so far, but from what I've heard and what I've been listening to in my spare time, the competition is tough for them. First, so that's what I'm saying is the first priority, to listen to the medium bands. For large bands, I think I don't want to sound very political.
Yeah.
But I think everyone's arrangement is stellar.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hands down. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think on finals night, what definitely propels a band's chances is preparation. Being well rehearsed, being clear, being clean. And when we say clean, we mean all stops are clean, all phrasings are clean, all band phrases are played, perfectly. I think one thing that we always look beyond is the energy of the players.
Yeah.
You and I know that our energy has to be up there all the time. I think sometimes some bands may over-rehearse because there's such a thing as practicing too much. And when they get to the panorama stage, sometimes it's a bit tough to execute fully and with good energy. Yeah. So sometimes players' energy is sometimes low on stage, and that could show it in the music and the performance. So one thing a lot of people overlook, besides the pyrotechnics, besides the lights, besides the costumes, the carnival characters that are on the Saturdays, besides all that, I think the players themselves sometimes are overlooked. because we are the ones playing the music. And I think when I saw it happen in 2020. Another band that I was watching, I think from South, they were practicing really hard on the track. When I say really hard, it was very hard. And I think when I looked over their performance on stage, you could see on the players' faces that they were a little tired.
They're exhausted.
And that happens sometimes. So I think for large bands, especially because the bragging rights and the level of the competition is so valued, that drill masters want to push them very hard. And sometimes we forget that, like I said, we are human. We have needs. We need to recover. We need to rest sometimes. So I think that's one thing that may be a tangent on the large band category, players' welfare.
Yeah.
So I think bands need to look out for their players and say, all right, we don't want to kill them off at 7 o'clock in the night.
Yeah.
When we play in that line, But also what I'm looking forward to for large band category is, I think, clarity. I think sometimes with large ones, because there's so many bands, they don't hear all these sections.
Yeah.
So
the thing is, and if I may, it has less to do with how the band is set up per se. Yeah? It has more to do with the voicing and the way you put it.
Execution. Yeah, I think dynamics helps a lot. When we are able to hear the cellos clearly, because a lot of bands use their cellos so well. A lot of arrangers love to put music in the cellos, and sometimes you don't hear it enough. Sometimes you don't hear it enough. But generally, I think for all large bands this year, the competition is stiff.
Yeah.
From Starlift to the bands from Tobago, I think Buccaneers has been showing a very good competition as well. To the new arrangers in the category, including Dante White. What's
Dante Panton, yeah.
I'm confusing myself here.
Yeah. It's plenty arrangers. I jump up.
Yeah. He's in the finals now. Kirsch Ramsey and OJ Richards with Silver Stars. Your band, they are making it to the finals, and I think a lot of the older heads, they are not playing for slips either.
Yeah.
Bugsy is doing well. Leon Smooth Edwards with All Stars, as well as BJ Marcel with Exodus, and of course Duvon Stewart with Renegades.
Yes.
The experienced arrangers are putting out their best work too. So I think what it would come down to is execution, dynamics, as well as the players' welfare, because we could try and put in the best music as possible. If our players are not in the correct state of mind to execute, it will be, it'll be detrimental to us. So I think what bands should really take care of is their players. Of course, their fans as well.
Yeah.
But players need to be in the right state of mind. They have to have enough time to recover, because sometimes they look on the track, players are thirsty, looking for water, looking for Gatorade, looking for Lucozade, because the band is running the song over and over, high tempo. And I guess that's where it would come down to, because large bands is 120 players. If 60 of your 120 players are tired, you will hear it in the music.
Yep.
Definitely. But in terms of arrangements, in terms of production and pyrotechnics and everything, it's going to be there. The arrangements are very tough this year. They are very well orchestrated from last place all the way up to first place. It's just a matter of being able to execute properly and making sure that the environment, because I heard there was a problem for a couple of bands, both in medium and large, where the rhythm sections in the North Stand caused a problem.
Yeah, and that's also something I noted. And there was a whole fete or party happening behind, and you could actually hear it on stage when we were playing. But it was a matter of trying to keep in time and listening to our rhythm. Yeah, that was tough. I guess that's another discussion for another time. But definitely medium and large finals are going to be very, very high caliber, and I can't wait to see it. I can't wait. Awesome. All right, well, ladies and gents, I think we've come to the end of this episode and this conversation. Emmanuel, thank you for joining us. And I mean, from one panel to the next, all the best in the finals. I mean, listen,
thank you.
We're going to be crossing each other in the track anyways, and normally with it's panorama finals, whatever happens has happened, and there's always be a vibe anyway. Whoever wins, everybody running on stage to celebrate as it is. So,
I mean, and for the most part, it's the mother of all carnivals.
Yeah.
It's the mother of all panoramas. I think this is our 60th anniversary of Panorama, the jubilation of Pan. So whatever happens, we're going to celebrate. We're going to have fun.
Fun.
Panorama is back. Panorama is back,
Yep.
definitely.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this week. As I said before, like, share, comment, subscribe. All of Emmanuel's information will be somewhere in the description below. I'll have you send those to me, so include your Instagram, and we could share up and get the people to follow you. Guys, please remember we need to get to 1,500 subs on YouTube. We already have the listens on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all that. We're in the thousands, but I want some more subs on YouTube. All right, so like, share, comment, subscribe, and we will see y'all and we will hear y'all on the next one. Peace out, guys. Bye.